2009, I picked up a book at Campus Cycles that was Bicycle Touring in Colorado, written by Michael Seberg. And it's a really great book, and I opened it up to like page 232, and I saw this Death Ride Tour, 230 miles. It said in that book at that time 24,000 feet of elevation, but we found out that that's not true. It's about 32,000 feet of elevation in the first day. But I found my wife. Where's Deborah? Can you come over here, dear? So I said to my wife, and I had done a few tours before that. I had started riding with Ace Hardware. Larry Gruhl here is from Ace Hardware. A couple other Ace people have been on this tour with me. Mike Kelly was not here, but he's in spirit with us today. I started riding these tours for Children's Hospital. And the first one I did was from, it was a Chicago to Denver tour, and the tour that leg that I did was 536 miles from Lincoln, Nebraska to Denver. And that was in 2007. When we first got to Denver, the Children's Hospital there was brand new, and it had opened up, and I met Garrison Hayes. And if you saw me on TV last week with Susie Wargin, Garrison was on there. So Garrison was like my inspiration. Oh, this is cool. Riding for kids. I had done the Courage Classic. Deb and I had done the Courage Classic a couple times. You know, we did the Elephant Rock the first time on like mountain bikes, and 32 miles, kicked our ass. And then we go, oh, now we're going to do the Courage Classic and go, climb Vail Pass and all that. And that was like, that kicked my ass. And that's when I met Susie Wargin. She came flying down Fremont Pass on your left, shaking her butt with her little skirt and stuff. And since then I go, oh, that was Susie Wargin. I said, I'm after you. I'm going to find you. So in 2009, I bought this book, and I said, honey, we're going to go down to southern Colorado and do this 3-day, 230-mile tour. We'll get my friends, our small group of friends, and we'll make it a memorial ride for my parents. My mom died on our wedding anniversary, November 16th, 2008. And my dad died when I was 13 years old in 1966, I think. He was 45, and he had suffered ALS for about 9 years. And I said, I want to do this. And she said, are you effing crazy? And I said, no, this would be good. So in 2009, we came down here 2 weeks before that. I did the Iron Horse, just as I said, we better figure out what this place is all about. And of course, driving over here, we drove over Red Mountain Pass, Mullis Pass, Cold Bank Pass. And we're going like, holy shit, look at these passes. And Deb had we stayed in Durango that night. I rode the Iron Horse. We came up to Silverton. I was here at Silverton in the bar having shots of tequila while she was trying to get up the hill after they opened it up. So as soon as Deb got here, she needed a couple shots of tequila. So then 2 weeks later, we came back, and there was 8 of us. There was Patty and Mark Rosenthal that are here. Raise your hand. Okay, they were the original Super 8. There was me, my son Brandon, who is here, his best friend Matt, my buddy Skip, which on the back of your jerseys you'll see a logo, CHC3. That stands for Charles Homer Cathcart III. So I made a logo for him, and he came out, and then Matt's brother-in-law and father-in-law. So there was 8 of us and 3 support people, which were actually my wife, my son, and Steve Bell from Campus Cycles. 8 and 3 support people, 11 people. 2009, I think we raised a couple $1,000. So then the next year was 25. The next year after that was 75, and then this year I think we're close to 120. I didn't count everybody, but and we had about 25 people bail out, and we're probably going to end up donating close to $30,000. So that first year, every cemetery, so up on the hill here, the first 11 of us went up on the hill and we planted this flag. And it's pictures of my parents' tombstones, and it said, in memory, it said, your spirit always lives with me, your loving son, Barry. And last year we got done, and this guy, Paul Bieber, called me, and he said, you planted a flag in the cemetery. I Paul lives right over that house, and there's a bunch of little tombstone markers because there's a lot of people up there buried that don't have any markers. He goes, and I'm thinking, we just finished this really nice tour, and I'm thinking, oh, you're going to give me shit for planting that flag. And he goes, the flag blew down in 2010, and I put it back up. And he said, and then it blew down again, and I put it back up again with a piece of rebar, and it's good. It's good for another couple years. And 2 weeks ago, he called me, he said, we had like 75-mile-an-hour winds up here, and the flag blew down and it got ripped. And I said, oh, that's too bad. This is on a mop pole, not a flagpole. I'm in the cleaning mop business. My buddy Dan Bloom is here and knows this is a mop pole. Okay, that's all I could figure out back then. So it was like, holy shit, that flag's still there. And I got a duplicate of the flag that I bring to the top of the passes, and people have signed it. I take pictures with it up there. So I said, I'll get some new flags made. So we're gonna hoist a new flag probably before we leave on either Sunday or Monday or whatever. But so this lives on, and so when he told me that, I said, well, where's the flag? He said, it's in the cemetery. It's okay. I said, really? It's just laying there? He goes, then I get a phone call from his wife. She said, Paul called his friend. He went and got it. And because they're down in Durango right now, he's not here, and he had it over on his porch. So that's kind of why this thing has happened. And you kind of look at this big banner and you see a lot of cool pictures of people having a good time. That's what it's all about. I want everybody to have a good time. I want you to come back. I want you to raise a lot of money because it's good. And I want you to understand what the word tzedakah means. It's Hebrew. It means to give back. It means to be righteous. It means to do the right thing. So, that's kind of what this is all about. This is kind of my way of thinking that this is the right thing to do. And this is a hard tour, but it's fun. And, I hope everybody has a good time and safe. I want to thank my lovely wife, Deborah, because without her, I wouldn't be here doing this. And we've been together 32 years. My son, Brandon, and my daughter, Rachel, is not here. Brandon's done all the artwork. And I love everybody here that's here. My friends, Lynn and Andy Maloney, who came here, they were married also on November 16th. Not the same year, but luckily they'll make it as long as we, but we'll always be ahead of them because, we're older. So we've got some awards up here that are really special because people went over and above raising money and doing certain things. So where's Chris? Chris Wheeler over here. He lives in Aurora. I think he wanted to do it last year and it didn't work out. He got committed this year. He raised over, I think, about $2,200. And, the donations are still coming in. So he is an angel of light. And I'm gonna read the quote. If you've all read the quote, read the story. If you read the story from Bicycle Bob, because he's now one of my best friends. That's just the way I am. We've been out there and we communicated. So it says here that Death Ride is more than a cycling challenge. It is a test of will, a conversation with one's own faith of spirit to endure. The confidence gained by persevering in the face of hardship, and there will be some hardship on this trip, especially up Dallas Divide, and exhaustion, serves one in all facets of life. I mean, that is like one of the best quotes I've ever heard or read. And Bicycle Bob Gregorio, who's done this 17 times this tour, and the fastest time in 12 hours and like 30 minutes. Okay? So, I'd like to present this to Chris for his donations. This is great. Now you got to carry that with you through the whole tour. Okay. It wasn't all about money and how much, it's how many people you could get to give. So David got over 40 donations. And, over $1,000, but he got, whatever it was, whether it was $5, $10, $1, it didn't matter when I kept seeing all those donations. So thank you. You are an angel of life. Now, the rest of these. So Gary Horton, I forgot to where's Gary Horton? Gary Horton is another angel of life, okay? So he raised over $1,000. Now, I always remember Gary from his yellow jacket and leaving Telluride last year going, Barry, I'm starting early, I'm slow, but I got to go, and it was 7 o'clock, and everybody was, and you know what? I never forgot him. And I always remembered him by that yellow jacket, his beard, and going, I got to get out of here now, because, and he raised, it's like, Gary's getting all these donations. This is great. Thank you, Gary. Now, Gary just rode a little 300 miles to get here from Victor, on his mountain bike to get warmed up before this. So, thank you. Tim Miller. Tim Miller. I forgot to get Tim Miller up here. Where's Tim? Come on, Tim. And I need Matt Lepore and Brian and Terry Capala. And then there's some honorable mentions that I said here that I don't have trophies for right now, which is Larry Gruhl and Bob Vincent. Bob, you're over there, right? Okay. All right. Tim? Tim's another angel of life because he raised over $1,000. So, congratulations. Okay? I appreciate that. This is what it's, you can put them back in here. Roger will take care of, if you don't have a place to put them, like in a vehicle, they'll be here at the Wyman. Roger will take care of that, okay? Thank you. Matt? Yes. Come over here. Matt's another $1,000 and up, so we're going to raise the ante a little bit. So you were the one that was competing with Chris, right?
Not that I know of.
Who was that? Oh, that was David. Yeah, so these two guys were competing. David was actually competing with Chris, and they never knew each other. He goes, oh, I got to beat that guy. He's got more money than I got, which was pretty cool. So, Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay? I know, everybody wants to go, we got to get out of here, but nobody got here on time except me, so this is what happened. Where's Brian and Terry?
Right here.
Okay. These guys, these are the Lovebirds, okay? So I told you about that. We did the ACE Tour to Kids. Well, what year? 2009. We rode from, was that the Chicago to Atlanta one? St. Louis. Chicago to St. Louis. These two guys met on that tour. And they were both working at Ace Hardware at that time. And they fell in love from the bicycle tour. And they got married. And they've been riding their bikes ever since, together. And last year, they were the Lovebirds on the tour, but you know what? They're really special. And together, they got some sponsorship donations. Brian works for Fresh Wave, so all the smelly stuff that you've been smelling around, that's from Brian. And Terry's parents, right? Carver. They're an engineering type of company. They do stuff. And they were a sponsor. So thank you. You got to be careful. Okay? All right.
How much did they raise?
They raised over 1,000. Everybody that's up here raised over 1,000. So, as you know, this is a piece of solid granite. So last year I had this tombstone maker make these bases. He was from Ohio, but he didn't want to make them again this year. He never returned my phone calls or anything. I think he probably undercut himself. But my buddy Dan Bloom, we've been friends for like 11 years, 12 years. He's a supplier. He sells microfiber and does that. All your little cloths that you have, that's from Dan. Dan and his company and his support, we're over a $5,000 sponsor, which is terrific. So there are 3 $5,000 sponsors that are with us. The other one is Legacy and Rock Creek. That's Dave George. He's ridden this tour a couple times, but he's not here this year. Here, why don't you hold this? Okay.
What's up, dude? You gotta ride with that, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Guy, you'll have a lot of fun with him. And then Bob Vincent, would you come over here, Bob? So Bob's another angel of life, and I have to put you have a little trophy coming. I didn't get it. But Bob's from Washington State. Bob's sister right now is battling ALS, and it's pretty tough. And Bob, I made a commitment to him that every penny that he would raise would go directly to ALS, and he's raised over $1,000. So, you know, we'll write that check with no expenses, nothing taken out. As you can tell, you know, this thing does take a little bit of money to put this up. Well, we're not too far behind schedule, especially because I'm in the first group, so I get to lead first. But Bob, thank you, okay? And, you know, that's why we're here, for helping people and giving back. So I appreciate it. And tell your story about what you did a month ago about in Hawaii.
I did a training ride up a Haleakala, sea level to 10,000 feet. It was a nice day, nice day. Had my support, my wife supported me. Without her, I don't think I would have made it. So.
I tried to get him the kit from last year to send to him, but we couldn't work it out. It was going to cost like a lot of money to overnight it to Hawaii. But he got it at home, though. He got it when he got home. Okay, where's Terry? Come over here. Oh, man. So, Terry signed up, and I don't know how you found out. I think you found out about this on the ALS site, maybe?
No, actually, we got FISA sponsor here told me about it.
Todd, right?
Keith.
Keith.
Yep.
Okay, but Todd had written it before,
I've written it
too.
before, but I didn't know because the thought already started.
So, Terry's dad died in 2010, right? Of ALS.
2 years ago to the day almost.
2 years ago to the day.
Yep.
And so I made a deal with Terry that every penny that he raised would go directly to the ALS Association. So we've already sent them a check for $5,000 from this tour, and Terry is my angel of life here, and hopefully, you know, you'll pass all this on. You'll have a great tour. You'll pass all this on. You'll bring people back, and just help people out, because that's what it's all about here. This is a small little venue, but we got big hearts, and it's going to continue to grow, but it's going to grow to a point where it's going to be not that big that we can't keep it really small and fun and personal. Okay, so that is your trophy. Now, you only get the finisher medal if you come back here and finish. And I know you're going to do that. Okay?
Yep.
So, congratulations. All right. So, that's why we're here.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, 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 I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand has come, and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see.